Hello and welcome to the new video. My name is Nikola Petkovic, and in this video we'll be talking about Dubai real estate market for Q3 of this year. Points we'll be covering in this video are interest rates, mortgage stats for all the individual months. Months are of course July, August and September. Then complete and combined stats for all the months in the quarter. After that, I'll tell you guys the top 5 performing areas. We'll cover the off-plan and ready properties volume and value of sales, and at the end we'll cover the average apartment and villa prices for the top 10 communities and year to date for 2022, which will be complete stats for this year and how it compares to the previous year of 2021. So without further delay, we'll start. The interest rates have been increased. UAE has been increasing its interest rates following the US increase of interest rates, and in this quarter we have seen a significant jump. If you look at the picture on the left, you will see the all-time recorded and how the interest rates have been moving through the years. On the picture here on the right where my mouse cursor is, you will see only for this year. So you see from November last year to this year. You see the significant jumps, and they have started from March slightly increasing, and the biggest ones or reaching the higher point we have in Q3 and now after that. So current actual rate is 4.5 and the highest recorded in UAE since we are monitoring this stuff since 2007 has been 4.75. So that's something to keep in mind, and it definitely doesn't favor people who want to get into properties through mortgage. So let's see how that actually reflects here. These are the mortgage transactions in Q3. So what's interesting here is that you can see that number of transactions has fallen 5.7% compared to the previous Q3 in 2021, right? So that's something that was expected. But what is interesting is that value of those mortgages is significantly higher, 11.9%. A higher value of mortgages in this quarter than the Q3 of previous year. So that's something that is interesting, but this number and drop was definitely expected. Now, in July itself, the amount of transactions was valued at 20.9 billion dirhams, and the total number of transactions we had is 7,119 transactions, which is 61.3% higher than July in 2021. It has been, of course, dominated by apartments. We see the figures here that 4,830 units of apartments has been sold, and that's almost a 60% increase versus July in last year. You can see below the figures for total value as well for all of these properties individually. So value of apartments sold was 9.1 billion. This is only for July. Villas, 1,600 units sold, an 80% increase compared to the July last year. And the complete value of that was 5.7 billion. We can see that there's also doubling the commercial sales as well compared to the July last year. And the value of that is 576.3 million. And there is an increase, slight increase in plots as well. August this year, the total value of transactions we had is 24.3 billion. Number of transactions was 9,733 units have been transacted in August, which is almost 70% increase on the August of previous year. Apartments, 82.9% increased from August in previous year, so the market is steadily booming. 6,746 units have been transferred. These are apartments only, and their combined value is 12 billion dirhams. Villas, we had 2,381 villas transacted, a 50% increase versus August of last year. 7.7 billion dirhams is the total value of those 2,381 villas transacted. You can see again the increase in commercials and plots as well. Now September. For September, we had a total value of transaction equivalent to 24.3 billion dirhams. This is combined from 8,651 transactions, which is a 49.5% increase versus September last year, 2021. Apartments transferred 6,371 units sold and transferred in September, 76.1% increase versus September of last year. Total sales value is 12.2 billion dirhams. Villas, 1,694 units transacted in September with combined value of 5.7 billion dirhams. There is only 1.6% increase in villas compared to September last year, which is very low if you look at the stats for commercial or primarily, of course, apartments, which are 76% increased. But keep in mind either way that the last year was very good in terms of volume of transactions and sales value. But this year, as if you look at these numbers, it's really staggering. Let's check the entire quarter 3. It will give us a little bit of a larger picture in play. So the total value of transaction in complete quarter 3 is 69.5 billion dirhams. The value quarter on quarter is up 17.6%, while compared to quarter 3 of last year, 2021, the value is up 63.9%. Now, as I mentioned, 2021 was already a good year in terms of transaction and value of units sold for Dubai real estate market. But this year is just staggering that it has a 63.9% increase in a single quarter of compared to last year. So the total number of units sold in the quarter 3 this year was 25,503 units. Combined apartments 17,947 units, villas 5,675 units. You can see the increases as I mentioned, and the value of these 17,947 apartments was 33.3 billion, and for 5,675 villas are equivalent to 19.1 billion dirhams. Now, as I said on the beginning, I'll give you guys the top 5 performing areas and some information on them. So for quarter 3, we see the areas that we are pretty much accustomed to now. So leading with Business Bay. What's interesting here is that Business Bay had a huge number of transactions, 3,153 transactions. When you compare that to the second place, which is Dubai Marina, you will see that it's almost, it's about 40% of it. So the Marina has 1,802 transactions, while Business Bay has 3,153 transactions completed. But what's an interesting point here is that in Business Bay, we had the total value of those transactions at 5.17 billion. While in Dubai Marina, we had 5.46 billion worth of transactions. So 1,802 units transacted are worth 5.46 billion, while in Business Bay, 3,153 units are worth 5.17 billion. So Dubai Marina has seen sales of properties that are in a top luxury segment, and that's why the prices per unit were 40 to 50% higher than Business Bay, according to these stats. So the next in line is Damak Lagoons, which has been a very dominant area since its release. Damak Lagoons had 1,442 transactions worth 3.76 billion dirhams. Fourth in line, we have JVC for this quarter, which had 1,435 transactions worth 986 million dirhams. So plenty of transactions for JVC, but this is a community that's a little bit outside of the prime areas of Dubai, maybe 20 minutes drive from downtown or Business Bay. And you can see that's it's a family community pretty much. So you can see that number of transactions are good, but the value of them is lower compared to other areas which are considered prime. Which means, of course, that apartment there are cheaper in comparison. And last but not least, we have a downtown Dubai with 1,340 transactions that are worth 4.14 billion. We compare off-plan versus ready units sold in this quarter, so quarter 3 of this year. We can see that a market has been, or sales have been dominated by an off-plan properties. So what we have here is a comparison of volume versus value, and they are both dominated by off-plan. So you see 57% of volume of transactions have been done through off-plan properties, and their value is also higher, which is 59% compared to 41% of ready units. The worth of transactions was 31.87 billion for off-plan properties, and the worth of transactions for ready properties was 21.77 billion in this quarter. So the off-plan properties are continuing to boom and have an expansion. These are brand new units, of course, that are supposed to be delivered, which means they are under construction. They are constructed mainly in prime areas, which we have seen on the previous slide. We can see where the highest amounts of transactions have happened. So most of these are for off-plan properties there. Now, the average prices are very interesting for apartments in this quarter, and we can see the increases as well. Now, this is the top 10 areas, that most demanded areas, let's say, in Dubai. So Business Bay, we can see that average apartment price is 1.3 million approximately, and the average price per square foot is 1,886 dirhams. For Dubai Marina, those figures would be 2.169 million dirhams for the average apartment price, with 2,239 dirham per square foot for the average, right? In Jumeirah Village Circle, as mentioned, these values are a lot lower, so we can see that 580,000 dirhams is the average property price, but price per square foot is 970 dirhams. Burj Khalifa, Arjan, Dubai Creek Harbor, you can see the figures for yourself, but we can definitely see the increases here in the average prices as well. But what's more important, in prices per square foot. If you want more space for the money, you would go towards an area that's like Jumeirah Village Circle or Arjan, or these areas, Al Furjan, that have a lot lower price per square foot. But if you want to be in a center of the city and have a prime area and all the benefits that come with that, then prepare to pay approximately 2,000 dirham per square foot or a little bit more. This is very useful because you can do an easy comparison. Average prices of villa in Damak Lagoons, which we have seen has dominated the villa market since it was released or launched. The average price so far is 1,827,000. Why I say so far? Because we have another cluster to be released, and whoever is interested for that, and this is the last cluster of the launch, you can feel free to contact me. I can get you the information for that and book a unit for you. Now, as mentioned, 1,827,000 has been the average, and the price per square foot 1,138 dirhams. Compared to Jebel Ali, where the price was 3,178,000 and 741 dirham per square foot. These are huge properties there. Dubai South, one of the cheapest, or the actual cheapest option, which is 643 dirham per square foot and 1.9 million dirhams. Damak Hills 2, 700 dirham per square foot and 1,250,000 for the average prices of villas or townhouses there. The Valley revolves around 1.6 million, 828 dirham per square foot. Villanova 1.7 million, 825 dirham per square foot. The most expensive area so far would be Tilal Al Ghaf, with the average price reaching almost 8 million dirham, and with the price of 1,307 dirham per square foot. Damak Lagoons and Tilal Al Ghaf are areas that are next to each other, and they both have a crystal lagoon at the center, at the heart of the community. But you can see the staggering difference in price, and you can see the focus on a price per square foot. You can see that Tel Al Ghaf is still demanding a higher price, almost 200 dirham per square foot, higher price than Damak Lagoons, even though Damak Lagoons has a crystal lagoon going through every single cluster inside of the community, where Tel Al Ghaf has it in center only, but Tel Al Ghaf has its own name and advantages. To finish this video, we'll be talking about year-to-date stats for this year, which is 2022. Now, in this year, if we look at the cash transactions, we had a total of 73,492 transacted units. These are cash transactions only, and that's a 58% year-on-year change, which means so far this year is 58% up on previous year, which is 2021. The value of these properties for cash transactions are 198.4 billion dirhams, which is 76.5% change compared to value of units sold in previous year to date. Below that, we can see the mortgage transactions here. Now, mortgage transactions, we had 18,012 units transacted. Now, the mortgage transactions have fallen 12.1% year-on-year change, which is expected with the rise of interest rates through this year. And we can also see that the value of those transactions were 86 billion dirham through mortgage, and this is 17.7% change from the previous year. Now, this is, as mentioned, something that was expected because of high interest rates as well, but you can see that cash is continuing to come to the market. Some of the reasons for that are the dirham is pegged to US dollar, so people are transferring their currencies to US dollar, and this is one of the ways to do it, by buying a property here, which then whenever you sell it, and even when you're buying it, you're selling it and buying it in US dollar, because dirham is actually tied to the dollar. So you can see that people are looking to get rid of cash, and they are entering hard assets such as real estate, which also helps you understand these numbers and where the market is moving. So through the entire year, we have had a stream of growth, and we are expecting the same in quarter 4 to finish off this year. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to reach out. You have my number and details below if you're looking for a property, or if you want to buy something in Dubai. So thank you very much again for watching. Make sure you subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.